You played for one night, you got the best time, whatever. All right, here we go. Got 2 words for you today, 2 words. Here they are. How to. How to. Today, I want to challenge you with a simple idea. I want to challenge you to consider how to win and how to lose. You see, it turns out that it's not just winning and losing that matter. It's how you win and lose. Because all wins and all losses aren't created equally. And though everyone wants to win and no one wants to lose, well, the reality is that no one can go undefeated forever. You might go undefeated for a season or for a couple seasons, but you're not going to go undefeated for all of your life. And so just like you have to know how to win, you have to know how to lose. So I want to challenge us today as leaders to first think about for our own lives how to win and how to lose, and then to consider how we might lead our teammates so that they could win well and, when the time comes, lose well. So let's look today at 3 ways that you can learn how to win well. Number 1, if you're going to win well, you must win with humility. You must win with humility. Now, what I mean by that is that when you win in such a way that it does not change your values. In other words, that you recognize that your high doesn't need to be so high that it changes how you live, how you see others, how you see yourself. That when you win, you recognize that you couldn't get where you are by yourself. And so you are humble enough to recognize all those that helped you get where you are. You see, so often as leaders, we will be the ones that have the microphones in our face. We'll be the ones who have the opportunity to speak on behalf of our team. And when that day comes, I want to remind you, I want to encourage you, even challenge you to give credit to all of those that helped you be successful in that moment, that helped you be successful in that game, that helped you win. Give credit to the scout team. Give credit to your coaches and their game planning. Give credit to your staff, your administration, those in your community who have come out to support you. Be the kind of leader, the kind of spokesperson that is humble enough to give credit to your opponent. When you compete, even when it's against your greatest rival, give them credit for something they did well in competition. Whatever it might be, find a way to give your opponent credit for something that they did well. Give your teammates credit, and then accept the credit for what it is that you did. Be humble enough to think of others first and self second. And when you do that, it will keep you grounded. It'll keep your high from being too high, and it will allow you to stay in true line with your values. In other words, you won't think more of yourself than you ought to. Second, you have to win with integrity. You have to win with integrity. And that comes in 2 forms. Number 1, it means that you don't bend the rules. You don't break the rules. You don't live in the gray as you are seeking your victory. That you don't cheat your way to the top. That you don't do things that if you got caught or called out or exposed would bring shame to yourself, to your family, or to your teammates. That it wouldn't shame the name on the front of the jersey or the name on the back. So that to win with integrity means you win within the rules that have been set. And the second way that you win with integrity is similar to winning with humility, which is to say that you only take credit for that which you actually did. Don't take credit for something that your teammates did and make yourself believe and project to the world that you did more than you really did. Here's an example. We've all seen the person who's made the game-winning shot. As the buzzer is going off, the ball is floating through the air, it goes nothing but net, and the crowd goes wild, they rush the court, and everybody goes crazy. The athlete with integrity in that moment says, yes, I took the shot, but I couldn't have taken the shot if my teammates hadn't done their jobs, if they hadn't drawn the attention of the defender, if coach hadn't drawn up the play and seen this weak spot in our opponent, we wouldn't have called that play. We don't call that play. My teammates can't do what they do. If my teammates don't do what they do, I can't take the shot. You see, you're only taking credit for what you did. Don't be the athlete that says, I won the game. Don't be the athlete that says, if it wasn't for me, we lose. You see, you played a role. And when you win with integrity, you recognize that your role is important, but it's not the only role. So to win well, we must win with humility. We must win with integrity. And number 3, we must win with perspective. In other words, we have to recognize that though this win is big, it is only a win. It is a step in the process of a much bigger goal. That there's always a bigger goal that this one victory is helping us to achieve. Yes, it's great to win in week 3, but if your goal is to win a state championship, well, you've got 13 more weeks to play. You've got an entire season and postseason yet to go. And so you have to recognize that though this is important, it's not the end. In other words, we have to keep our eyes on the macro goal and not get too focused on the micro victory. Don't get so excited about this week's victory that you miss this year's goals. So when you ask, Mac, how do we win well? You win with humility, you win with integrity, and you win with perspective. So just like we have to know how to win well, we also have to know how to lose well. Now, that's not because we want to lose. In fact, it's just the opposite. Because we want to win, we have to know how to lose well. Because the better we lose, the better we become, the better chances we have to win. So you say, Mac, how do I lose well? The first thing that you have to do is you have to lose with humility. That you have to be confident enough in who you are that what you do doesn't define you. Too often we see people whose confidence is like a roller coaster. When they perform well, it's really high. When they perform low or poorly, their confidence is very low. It's a roller coaster. The people whose confidence is determined by their performance can't be very humble. See, to be humble, you have to be confident not in what you do, but in who you are. Because you remember who you are determines what you do. And so as you think about losing in a game, I lost the game, I am not a loser. That's a confident humility. I didn't perform well, that doesn't mean that I'm a terrible person. I'm a great person who performed poorly. I'm a good guy, I'm a good girl who didn't do well. Someone who is confident and humble can separate the event from the personhood. In fact, Zig Ziglar says this, failure is an event, not a person. Be confident and humble enough that you